Hey guys, oh dear, I'm just looking at a huge amount of goodies which I will describe in detail a bit later on. A very heavy, and I mean very heavy, flat rate box from Damien Corrick, and he's out Camp Hill, if I remember rightly, near Harrisburg. Hope we can meet up sometime. This is otherwise a slightly bitty video. I decided to make a holder for a straight cut knurling wheel. It's an import, cheapy, but I want to have it available. I don't know if I'll need it very much, but I just run through making that, and I did try to heat blue the steel with well, some success, but not complete. One or two other things I might throw in, I can't remember now offhand. And I haven't had a lot of time out here for a lot of reasons. So it's all little jobs still, and I think the next one or two will probably be fairly small. So I'm picking away at stuff and hoping to get to the point where I can get stuck into something more substantial. Not the first time I've said that, is it? Alright, let's get on. I'll show you all these wonderful goodies first. Well, I had a very, very heavy flat rate box arrive this morning. There's a viewer, Damien Corrick, who offered to send me some tooling, numerous things, an incredible amount, and in fact I won't spend too long going through because it would take probably half an hour to go in detail. So I'm just going to run through and give you an idea of what he sent. First of all, he put in some drills. It's going to be very hard not to take ages and dwell on everything here. It's just incredible. Here we've got a selection of inserts which just fell out of the box. Those are solids which I can braze or use a claw hold. Got three gorgeous 45-degree cutters and numerous end mills. Look at this, absolutely gorgeous. There's the Japanese, they're nice. Japanese make pretty good end mills. So that's that box of goodies. And another box of end mills. My gosh, it's like Christmas at Easter time. Some nice American made cutters here. What's this? That's a 3/16 4 flute. That's a Niagara too, my gosh. Unbelievable. There's a quarter inch. Just trying to see, it's USA made. And that's a 2 flute. Gosh, I say this, it's going to take me ages to go through in detail, but really, I mean, look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Fast cut tools, Millersburg, Pennsylvania. 2 flute, 3/4. Quite amazing. Well, one more box to go, and this is the mind blower. Correction. One more box before the mind blower. Mind you, this is a bit mind blowing. Damien said, oh, if there's room I'll put in a few bearings. Oh, look at that. Oh dear. I find ball races so useful regardless of what the size is, because I can usually work it to suit, and I don't have a lot of bearings. I've got a few small import ones, but nothing like that. Quite incredible. Oh, well, here it is, the pièce de résistance. Look at that. Look at that. A lot of these are 250 101s, but also we've got some 102 XLs. The 102 has a V-groove, and they're the large size. They'll take 5/8. I'm blown away. Absolutely. Damien, absolute incredible generosity. What more can I say at the moment? Except monstrous gratitude. I accept them graciously, but amazed that anybody would send me so much wonderful stuff. I'm thrilled, there's a good word, absolutely thrilled. Thank you, Damien. I owe you, somehow or other. Well, this is another functional job. It's a small one. Piece of bar here, 1/2 by 3/4. Hasn't been finished on the outside, it'll probably get some clean up. But I'm going to try and use this, try and get it in frame. This is an import. What isn't? I wanted a straight knurling option for just a very few occasions. This has actually got a slight flaw on the edge, but I think it'll do. I just want to make something to use it in, so I'm using this piece of scrap bar. So initially I've opted to put in an axle hole first before I mill it, and it's going to be, this actually is metric, it's 28 by 8 by 8, but 8 is very, very close to 5/16. For my purposes we're going to be alright. I've got an 8mm milling cutter, fortunately, which will give me that extra, what is it, thou and a bit. So I'm just going to try and get the edge found on here so I can, whoops, this is where we're going to get some hang on a minute. Alright, you have to put up with my hand in the way there for a moment. Just going to try and find my edge. I'm not sure whether the bearing is quite as reliable as a normal centre finder, but it's adequate for what I want. So I'm going to zero the Y, and I'm always saying this, I'm not worried about the odd thou, not for this job. Let's try and get this axis. Zero the X and get set up, and going to drill through here, alright, to get the axle hole. The bearing, by the way, is 3/4, so it's no inconvenience to have that. 4375, so we've found our edges, we've come in 325 in this way, and we're on 1/4 for the halfway mark. So let's just get a centre drill. we'll put a stub drill in and go straight through. Let's just whip through this. Right, I've got a hardened pin here, which I think I can't tell for fit yet. Anyway, the next thing is to turn this round and set up to mill a slot. One thing I'm not going to do on here is take particularly big cuts. Usual thing, small machine, take it gently. I'm just going to take a 25 thou. The other thing is I haven't got a damn stop set up, so I'm going to have to stop on the DRO, which is a bit annoying. Probably going to give a bit more space than I need, but as I keep saying, functional. Let's take a, so we can take a 50 thou, which might get me into that hole, which may sound a bit rough. Anchor lube everywhere. Now this cut will go through the hole, I think. I've actually taken quite a few heavier cuts, particularly where the hole was. I took about 100 thou, 75 thou, etc. I've just got a finishing cut now, hopefully. Right, let's come out of the way, and the main thing will be to see if we got enough clearance there. I shall have to do this from the back. Yeah, there's plenty of space. Plenty of space. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is probably just by belt sander, I think. Just put a little radius both sides of the forks. And then I've got to cut that pin to length, and it's not going to be a terribly tight fit, so I will probably lightly stake it once it's the right length, and then clean the whole thing up. Alright, just finishing off the ends of this just to round it off a little bit. Right, I think that's adequate for what we want. The main thing now is to tidy up this piece of bar, which is still a bit messy. Still got a slight burr at this end. I might even leave that there actually. I think I'm going to have to stake this. I think we'll have to stake the axle in probably. It's just not quite a tight fit. That's alright though. That's turning freely enough. So we'll finish that off tomorrow, in fact. Guess what? It's windy again. Just for a change. Let's just get in a bit closer here. Right, there's the piece. It's only been cleaned up on the bandsaw, generally smoothed off, and it occurred to me to try and see if we could blue this by heat. Now, I haven't tried heat bluing anything, at least not for a long time. This little pot, something I made many years ago. I usually keep it filled with sand. It's for tempering, but I'm trying the click spring approach. Got some brass chips. We won't need the lid, so I'm going to put that in here. This is a lash up, fire bricks, ceramic sheet underneath and standoffs, and then we'll put this in there, get some heat going on it and see what happens. I'm trying a smaller burner here, the other one is a bit big I think. I'll see if I can get this up to temperature. Just seeing the beginnings of a slight colour change. The two fork pieces are changing first, so I brought the heat back to the left side. I'm not sure whether it's going to be terribly uniform. We've got some colour, but let's see. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. Got some colour, don't know whether it's very deep. It's quite a large piece to try and do, but I think I'm just going to leave that to cool off and we'll come back later and see what it's like. Or not. Well, the bluing is a bit patchy. Spot there that's not very good, and at the end I didn't probably degrease it and prepare it enough. I just whacked it in. It's got some promise. Next time I do a piece I'll prepare better. So I've cut the axle pin slightly loose. I didn't go for a press fit. I've just lightly staked it on the other side, and the wheel spins fine. So there it is. We'll try it out at some point. This is just a short interest item I'm throwing in. The fixture plate, which I made last year, I think. I've added some holes at the end, which is just for T-slot fixing. But I'm going to try and use these clamps. I've got my low profile sort of brass button clamps, some people may remember, which I can use on here. But these are rather cool, and I did show these before when I got them. You see, when I unscrew that, the jaw comes up on dovetails, and when you screw it down, it would not. Hang on a minute. Now, where was I? Yeah, I'm going to try and make more use of these clamps, and you can probably tell that as these come up the dovetail, you get space underneath, which means you can clamp both downwards but also outwards as well. So I made some very crude washers because I'm using 3/8 16, and if I set up on there I've now got a reasonable use of the slot. So that gives me what, about 3/8, something like that. So probably 2 of these, or even 3, will help me to hold something awkward, particularly if it's thin. I thought I'd throw that in. These really are quite amazing clamps, which I've never seen before. I got some bigger ones, but I sold those, but these are just ideal for my purpose. One other real quickie. Those who saw my Dremel tool post holder idea, when I was showing that, I was also realizing there was a lot of lateral movement in the shaft here. I took it apart, and I'm not going to take it apart again to show you, unfortunately, which would help, but inside here there's the housing for the front bearing, and the front bearing is actually in pretty good shape. It's really nothing wrong with it. But what I did notice was that the bearing housing, this half, wasn't really holding it tight enough. So for anybody who finds the same problem, I got some of this sponge, very compressible, and that sponge compresses down to 20 thou. So I actually lined this side with one longer piece and then a shorter piece, put it back together, and basically the slops disappeared. Alright, at some point I'll try and use this on the lathe to demonstrate, but it's probably not needed for the moment. But anyway, the difference in rigidity here due to the bearing packing, a big improvement. Well, there we are, my bumper bundle of goodies, and excuse me, making this knurling wheel holder, which is pretty straightforward really, but another little job out of the way, and 1 or 2 other odds and ends I put in, I think, and that's about it. Pretty much a wrap for this one. I've noticed even more subscribers have joined the line. That's amazing. I'm most grateful for them. And anybody who finds this channel of interest, do subscribe. Hopefully I'll keep more stuff coming. And eventually something a bit more exciting maybe, but I'm just keeping things rolling for the time being. Alright, so that's it for the moment. And hope to see you in a week or so, whatever the time frame is. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching.